Hey guys, welcome to my review Pokemon Diamond. I'm Ed from EdR Gaming, so let's get into it. This is my first ever time playing a Generation 4 Pokemon game. I never played any before. I sort of stopped at Generation 3. I never even played Emerald until obviously I put it on my channel. But I was playing Ruby and Sapphire, kind of got a little bored of them. Wish I didn't. But I never got a DS, so obviously I could never play Generation 4 games. Is probably the main reason. But obviously, as is normal for my reviews now, I think I've got myself a little structure. I've got my little notes here. I came really planned because the first time I did one of these, I just kind of waffled. I try not to do that. It doesn't always go too well. But I just want to say thank you guys for all your support on the series and on my channel in general. If you haven't subscribed, then please do that. We are going to be going in closely followed this. We'll be going into Nuzlocke Pokemon Yellow. And then I think we've got Heart Gold, Soul Silver. We might play Gen 2 as well. And just loads of Pokemon games and Final Fantasy and everything else. Just watch everything. But yeah, like, favourite, and please subscribe. But yeah, as is normal, we're going to go in with sort of gameplay and then story sort of sections in this. Now, I know story's not always that important in Pokemon, but I still feel like you kind of need to cover it a little bit in a review. But overall, I can't say there's massive problems with the game, in my opinion. But it's a little meh. It's just a little meh. You know, I'm probably not going to pick it up again unless you guys tell me I missed something major and I have to go back and play. But I just felt it was a bit meh. It wasn't that brilliant. But anyway, the gameplay. It did feel very much like a classic Pokemon. Evolution over Gen 3 rather than Revolution. I don't feel like there was that much new stuff. The graphics were good. The graphics were quite good in terms of the scale, but I felt they looked a little like, it's kind of hard to say, a little blurry. If you look at the Emerald, it looks very crisp. Some of this looks a little blurry around the edges, but that might be my software. I don't know. If you've played it on the DS, do let me know. Is it look really crisp and mine just was a bit off in terms of frames per second or whatever, or is that just how it looked? Because I don't know. For a next generation console, it didn't seem that much better. But obviously you got more detail in the way this sort of angle. It wasn't just straight top down anymore, was it? There was a slight sort of angle to it. So a little bit of an improvement in that case. Anyway. But speaking obviously the scale of the game, the scale of the game to play, I was a bit disappointed. Now obviously this sounds like it's very negative. But after playing Pokemon Emerald, I had like 30 odd parts in my playlist. This one I think I got to 26. It felt like this should have been bigger than Emerald. I feel like every Pokemon game should actually be bigger than the last one, in a way, without some clear reason why not. I know, because I don't know. For me, I just feel like it. Maybe some of the ones on the DS, and maybe because it was the first DS game, they didn't fully utilize it. I don't know. I'm just giving you what I think. I think with the main gameplay change that I noticed was the sort of updated double battles. So in Emerald, you would fight two Pokemon with one yourself. Here you would team up with someone in certain areas. You've got a teammate, and so then you were doing proper double battles, or you occasionally did double battles yourself with two of your own Pokemon. Now that was quite good. I think that was well designed. I enjoyed that. The AI is awful in it, not just the enemies, but your teammate. Oh my god, it was awful. Just like attack the Pokemon, please. I had to do it all by myself. But every time you finished the double battle when you had a teammate, they healed and recovered all your Pokemon, all your PP, HP, KOs. Felt like it took the challenge out of it a little bit, because basically you could probably take on enemies way stronger than you are at the minute because you just throw Pokemon at them. And as long as they don't have a full team, and they have like 2 or 3, they have sort of like 2 each, or 2 on one and 1 on the other, you can probably get through it. And then he's recovered, and I don't know. That felt not very challenging, those sections. Though the early one, there were a couple of Pokemon trainers that did challenge me. But I feel in general, it was like you get challenged by one, and then you're reset. I think it removes that overall challenge of you have to try and get through this area and use all your health products and things like that, and you're running low, and oh my god, are you going to survive? As you get that in some Pokemon games. For me, anyway. So also the HMs, very sore subject in many Pokemon games, let's be honest. Until recently when they kind of got rid of them. But now you were on, was it 8 in this game? Because you got Defog, which was kind of Flash, which they've removed one useless one and put another useless one in. I think in a way, Flash is better because at least it lowered the accuracy of the other person. Defog in a battle, I don't think it does anything like that, does it? I don't know, I didn't use it. But there was that, and then you got Rock Climb, which was the other new one. Was it? Yeah, because there was 7 in the last one. So yeah, that was the Rock Climb. You get it so late, and then they make you use them. I think that's the problem. I think really, I feel like a lot of the HMs, apart from maybe Surf, Waterfall, Strength, Cut, not a huge fan of Rock Smash. Prefer if it was just a normal move. Really, I'm not a massive fan of it. I think you should just have Strength. Just have Strength rather than Rock Smash. Why have 2 that basically do the same thing? But anyway, I think they should lock off post-game content with that sort of thing, or like super powered strong areas with that, where you then like sort of just take a HM mule instead of your main party having to have all these HMs. But you know, I feel like that would have been a good, but I think this is also the peak of HMs, isn't it? I think I looked and Generation 5 go back down again to 7, is that right? I think it's right. But yeah, so this feels like the peak, and I'm glad, because I hate making my Pokemon learn the HMs. I didn't mind bringing Birdie back in and out, because you obviously just flew to the Pokemon centers. Generally didn't mind that, and then I gave you a Defog. But like Rock Climb and Rock Smash, I had on that Geodude, and I was going into the hardest dungeon with a level 15 Geodude, which is just stupid. But I didn't want to lose any of the moves on the other team. So anyway, just my views on HM. Get a bit upset about him. Okay. I did feel like the difficulty curve in this game was pretty good, actually. Let's be honest. I feel like it was good. Not perfect, but I felt like every area was getting more difficult. Generation 3, I felt was easy until you got to Elite 4, and then suddenly it just shot up, and I really then struggled to grind to get it. This one I felt was much steadier, mainly because when I got to the Elite 4, and I didn't overly grind for it, I had less legendary Pokemon than I did when I did Gen 3. And the pseudo-legendary dragon thing, I didn't even bother evolving it all the way up. I let it do it during the Elite 4. So, clearly shows you how much weaker they are. Obviously, the bug one, we take the bug one out, because the bugs are always weak. But yeah, I did feel that maybe that was quite a good little progression. I don't think I ever really struggled any areas. There's a couple of bits were a bit close. But generally, it was okay. And what I think I did like, though, was a lot of the gyms, especially the Ghost and the Steel, or the Ghost, oh my god, the Ghost one. I only just scraped through that. That was not a good, it's not a good example, actually, that. It's just sticking my head, because I'm like, oh my god, it's crazy. But the Steel one, I think mainly, above all of them, strategy sort of came. I felt like I nailed a strategy for the first time ever playing Pokemon. I felt I nailed strategy and how to win, like that kind of way. I mean, all these clever little techniques and things. I felt like I did really well in that. Maybe not. Maybe I did. But yeah, I felt like you could fight Pokemon a lot stronger than you if you could sort of play to their sort of special defense, normal defense, weaknesses, and attack, and the equivalent attacks. Whereas I didn't feel like you could do that in Emerald, if you know what I mean. I feel like it was all about brute strength, which is normally how I would play Pokemon games. You just level up above everyone, then you wipe the floor with them. Here I felt it gave you more opportunities. You could just level up and wipe the floor, or you could just play it. You didn't have to grind as much, which I enjoyed, because I was able to produce more videos for you guys because I didn't have to do as much grinding off screen. And I don't really grind and record it. I mean, if you really, really want me to repeatedly fight a Pidgeotto or whatever, do let me know. I can always do it, if enough of you really want it. But anyway, I think that's main things on gameplay. It felt really fairly negative at the start, and then sort of came back a bit positive. But all these are it feels to me like I'm nitpicking the negatives and struggling with the positives a little bit. So that's why I'm thinking it's a meh game. But anyway, the story. Obviously not the most important thing in Pokemon. But there were a few problems for me. The reason why you get set on the quest right at the start, it felt like you were in trouble. It just felt like a punishment and you were getting sent. So I don't know, that for me, it didn't sit right, to be honest with you. I really didn't quite get why I was doing it. Everyone else was like, you become a Pokemon trainer when you turn, is it 10? Something like that. Off you go. This one was like, you're in trouble. Take this and do what I tell you to do. But, I guess they were trying something different. I think with and then, your rival, they were moving towards making your rivals friendly rivals. Now, clearly, I'm a slightly older person. I like the original two, where they are competition, proper competition. They like insult you. I always like that, but, it's a new world. Well, we'll not get into that. But yeah, your rival, and also Rowan's assistant, I thought was going to sort of be another person to compete with throughout the game. She kind of just disappears, because then you would be able to fight both starters all the way through. But fine, I only just thought about that now. Anyway, the enemies, Team Galactic. Now I was really impressed with those at the start. So they were trying to get clean energy, and that was their focus. They were going to make clean energy sort of for the world. And I thought, this is awesome. Obviously, this game's old. 2006, 15 years ago. A bit more. Don't. I can't do maths. But yeah, I felt like that was quite cool. I wasn't sure how it made them a villain, because obviously clean energy is a good thing. But I was like, yeah, you want to do this, but you're probably going to do it in an eco-terrorist kind of way. You're going to try and destroy it. Especially when you had the first gym was like coal mining. I mean, like, come on. That's really bad. There was the ironworks, which is not really good. There was the wind farm area, but I thought maybe they were stealing something from there. So maybe they were trying to take the technology. And then all of a sudden, they wanted the legendary to wipe the world and start again. And he wanted to be a god in a new world. It made no sense how it went from 0 to 1,000 like that. Telling you, I might have missed a bit of chat with somebody, but I don't think I did. I felt like I got to everything, unless a load of the grunts gave you some details that you had to re-talk to him. But it just felt weird. And then he used the legendary trio, who, by the way, crap in this game. 3 psychic Pokemon. What is the point of that? I know they are. I think one's high speed, one's high defense, one's high attack. But I didn't really use psychic much in this game. I don't think I used psychic at any point. I had a Bronzer for a while, but I didn't use it. It was just I got told it was a good Pokemon. And I was just like, all right, I love it. But it weren't it? I didn't need it. I think it only saved me once. Oh, okay. Reminiscing now. I don't need to do that. But yeah, he then captured those 3 legendaries. He stole them. Rubbish legendaries, as we've said. And then he abuses them to create something to call the proper, the box legendary forward. And I was like, why? Forget the Pokemon abuse. That's bad enough anyway. we don't like animal abuse or Pokemon abuse. But I don't even get why you're doing this. I don't know if I had just forgotten. And it clearly wasn't that meaningful why they said this would do the job. But I think it made that red necklace or whatever. But yeah, to me, it just felt like it kind of got a bit disconnected. I think in a way, maybe the developers realised there wasn't much traction with the whole, actually, we're doing a good thing. How can we be evil? So I think, there wasn't really any moral questions and stuff in that. Not like in some of the later games. But yeah, okay, fine. I think we sort of covered that part of the story. I did enjoy getting the legendary when I did. It wasn't that amazing. I probably could have used him more, a bit better, but it was quite cool. It was quite good to get a strong legendary. But the post game legendaries, they were awesome. The psychic ones aside, I hate them. I had to take one out. I just couldn't be bothered. But Heat Ram, a fire legendary with steel, that was a good combination. Obviously 4 times weak to ground, but actually I think it was a really good combination, and it was nice to see a really punchy fire, because in that game I had Rapidash, and Rapidash ain't that great anymore. So I think that was quite good. And then Giratina, whatever however you pronounce it, Giratina, I don't know. The Ghost Dragon. Now I feel that Pokemon could be awesome. I probably didn't utilize it very well in my final Elite Four playthrough because I just had it in my team. But it was strong at level 70. I will play Platinum at some point. We'll obviously do Shining Pearl or whatever, Shining Diamond, whatever they're called. The Switch remakes as well. To see how they change it, because Platinum is apparently the best of the 3 Gen 4 games. So obviously I want to do that. And we'll see whether it is better. And maybe you get to use him a little bit more because he'll be the box Pokemon for that. So yeah, I think that's that. Also, actually, speaking of the post game, the national decks, I really like that. I like that as a little twist that you had to do something, basically, to get the post game content. I think that was good. Now, the game was set up, obviously, to be able, you could see all 150 Pokemon by the time you finished. I was one sure. And I had seen an unknown. I'm pretty sure I had. But yeah, it's designed, but you have to have explored everywhere. And I'm guessing if you don't have a guide, it's so frustrating to find, because you won't know which one it is, will you? Unless it's clearly an evolution. You ain't going to be able to find it. How would you know? Well, I don't know. Maybe it was quite easy in there. Maybe you could ask someone. But what I think I will end this with how I started and how I went in the middle. Overall, the game was just a little underwhelming. I enjoyed it, but I didn't get that excited. I'm not excited about going, that is well up there. I kind of am a bit, not nervous, but not that overwhelmed about playing Platinum now, even though it's meant to be the best. Whereas, I never finished Ruby and Sapphire, so I want to go back and play them, and then obviously do Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, because I played Emerald. I know Emerald's meant to be the better one, but I obviously want to go and finish those now. Generation 2 is exciting me. Generation 1, some of my recording is not really good for that, but maybe we'll redo it at some point. But I'm going to be doing Generation 1 and a half. Pokemon Yellow Nuzlocke. So that is obviously going to be the next Pokemon game on my channel. I am going to release my Nuzlocke rules beforehand, so you know what I'm going to be doing. They're not that complicated, but do look out for that. Do watch that. Let me know if there's really one you want me to add. As long as it's not crazy difficult, I might do it, because I know Pokemon Yellow. But yes, guys, thanks for watching that. I did obviously waffle a bit. I always do. But I kind of kept to the script. Cool. Thanks, guys. Please do subscribe to EdR Gaming for plenty more games. Like a video, drop us a comment. I'll see you again for more. Cheers, guys.